Can you please state your first and last name and spell both?
Andrew Rolfs, last name spelled R-O-L, F as in Frank, S as in Sam.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective for the Dodge County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you worked for the Dodge County Sheriff's Office?
Going on 20 years.
And what is your current assignment?
I'm a detective.
How long have you worked as a detective?
13 years.
I'm going to direct your attention to June 25th of 2024. Were you working for the Sheriff's Office on that date?
Yes.
And did your detective division get assigned to investigate missing persons complaint?
Yes.
And did you work essentially with a partner in this case?
Yes.
And who was that person?
Detective Justin Cotton.
And was it fair to say that you and Justin Cotney as this, who was the missing person in this case?
Crystal Rasch.
And is it fair to say is that missing person investigation of Crystal Rasch evolved that you and Justin Cotney were essentially the two lead investigators?
Yes.
And you were the Detective Cotney sort of took more formal lead, and you were kind of his supervising detective because you have been in, how long have you been in the Detective Bureau again? 13 years?
13 years.
Is that accurate, basically, that you were sort of showing him the ropes, so to speak, and then he took the lead himself?
Yes.
So on June 25th, did you at some point go to Crystal Rasch's apartment?
Yes.
And we've had testimony already about her apartment, but was there a calendar in particular that drew your attention at that apartment?
Yes, there was.
And what was it about that calendar that drew your attention?
Well, on that calendar, Crystal Rasch had kept all important dates, like times she was going to visit her kids, doctor's appointments, things like that, and would subsequently cross the days out as the month went on.
And did she also have some medications there?
Yes, she did.
And did there appear to be some days that the medications weren't taken?
That is correct.
And were there also days though was this a like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday medication separator?
Yes.
So were there days that the medication was missing?
I believe so.
And days that had medication in it?
Yes.
And did that also draw your attention?
Yes.
Did you also check the garage area to determine whether or not her vehicle was inside of the garage?
We did.
And without saying what she said, but did you speak was Crystal Rasch's biological mother present at that apartment when you went there?
Yes.
And did she tell you where she believed Crystal Rasch was located?
She did.
And was there later investigation at that location that she believed she was at?
Yes.
And was it determined that she was not at that location?
She was not.
So at this point then, and leading into do you remember what time of day you went to that apartment on Tuesday, June 25th?
It was in the afternoon sometime, I believe.
So then at some point, were you becoming more concerned that this was more than a missing person investigation?
Yes.
And we heard testimony before, but was there investigation into financial documents?
Yes.
And surveillance footage drawn?
Yes.
And ultimately, was a search warrant performed on a residence?
Yes.
And do you know when law enforcement arrived initially at the Wood Road residence? Approximately what time?
I believe sometime after midnight into the 26th. I wasn't actually out there at that time, but that's the best of my recollection.
And were you present for the execution of that search warrant?
Not the initial one, no.
And what were you doing? What was your role?
Detective Cotney and I were back at the sheriff's office, and we were going to interview Zach Rasch.
And an interview did in fact take place, correct?
Correct.
And it's fair to say that Detective Cotney essentially sort of took the lead on the interview.
Yes.
And you were present though as well, correct?
Correct.
And then after, how long was that interview?
Over 11 hours.
And so after that interview was complete, is it fair to say that you were required to go home and sleep?
Yes.
And then after you got your mandatory rest time, did you come back? Did you go back to the scene?
We did the following day. Yes, on the 27th of June, 2024, we went back to the scene, or we went to the scene.
And was that the first time then that you had been to the scene?
Correct.
So when you got to the scene, what were some of the first things that you observed that really stuck out in your mind?
Well, Detective Cotney was walking in front of me, and we went around the command vehicle to the right, and Detective Cotney started noticing monster cans and Montego cigarette butts leading along a path to the right of the driveway, past an abandoned vehicle, and ultimately to an area of ground that looked like there was a fire there at some point, like a very hot fire.
And why were those Montego cigarettes and monster cans important to you? Why did those stand out? Or to, I guess, to the both of you, to Detective Cotney and to you as well? Because
we had learned in the course of our investigation and interview that was Zach Rasch's beverage and cigarette of choice.
Okay, so, and then what observations did you make?
Detective Cotney and I were looking around at some small maple trees around this burned area and had noted that the trees' leaves were wilted and singed. It looked like a fire had been big enough and or hot enough to burn these surrounding small trees. We noted that this burn area didn't contain a lot of leftover debris or ash. There were some remnants of some plastic and some other things there, but there wasn't like piles of ash or coals or anything there. Detective Cotney reached down and was feeling some of the soil, and he smelt it, and I saw a physical reaction when he smelt that soil. And knowing that there had been purchases of sulfuric acid made, significant purchases, we believe that that is where the acid may have been used.
And so as a result of that, what did you and Detective Cotney do?
We got some shovels and some plastic bags, and we collected maybe the top 2 inches of soil in 4 or 5 foot square area.
Okay, I'm going to show you exhibits 205 through 254. Let's write those down myself. And if you could just go through those exhibits briefly and let me know if you recognize those exhibits. You've reviewed all of those photos previously, correct?
Correct.
And you have been to all of those scenes that are reflected in those photos, correct?
Yes.
I would move exhibits 205 through 254 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
They will be received.
And I'd move to also publish them to the jury.
You may.
So we're going to start. Is it fair to say, before we start moving through this, that you were present for a search of this burn pit on Wood Road? So this would have been the date that you were there would be Saturday, June 29th, correct? Was the day that you would have gone there the first time. Is that accurate?
The first time, I believe, was the 27th.
The 27th, right.
Yeah.
And then you went, and then did you do something with that stuff on the 29th?
On the 28th, we sorted through the items that we collected, or through the dirt that we collected, along with members of the crime lab.
And where did you do that sorting?
At our impound building here in Juneau.
And then there was another search then that happened at that property in October, correct?
Actually, after we sorted on the 28th, there was another search done on the 30th of June that I was not present for.
And then another search that you were present for, thank you for correcting me, that I think Lieutenant Detective Nails was present for the June 30th search, correct?
I'm not positive I was in there.
But then the October searches you were present for, correct?
Correct.
So I'm going to go to picture 205. And if we can get the lights on this one, please. And if you could just show us kind of what we're looking at here on this one and what was significant to you. So what is depicted in this photo?
This is a photo of the burned area of interest. I can see in this photo that there appears to be some burnt plastic type material down here, some scorched areas, and then some remnants of some burned debris there.
And this is how the photo, or how the burn pit looked when you arrived on the 27th, correct?
Yes.
And I think either you or Detective Cotney took this photo, correct?
Correct.
And then moving to 206. What are we looking at here?
This is more of an overview of that area. If you step back a little ways and try to get the surrounding area, and you can see there's 4 tires kind of arranged off to the right side of the burned area.
And still we can see that sort of melted blue plastic, correct?
Yes.
And the right on top of the picture, that's that mound system, correct?
Yes.
And then beyond that would be Highway J, correct?
Yes, there's more woods that leads out to Highway J.
And then the bottom left hand corner behind us, what would be sort of on that side of the photo?
If we're a little further back, there'd be a white abandoned minivan there. And then there's also a shed off to the left there, a small garden shed.
Okay, 207. What are we looking at here?
That is the bagged up material that we collected after we discovered that it smelled very strongly of some kind of acid or chemical. That's what we dug up from the surface of that burned area and collected here. And that's in a hazmat container at that point because the odor and the fumes were so strong coming off of it, it was making us nauseous.
And then 208.
That is the contents of the bag in the hazmat bin of the dirt that we collected from the burned area.
209.
That is when we began to sort through using sifters to find any organic or inorganic materials in that soil.
So these items, whose handwriting is that on that white sheet there?
That's my handwriting.
And then why were these items sort of placed in this area?
Some of those pieces looked like they were pieces of bone.
And so are you able to say that something is or is not human bone?
No.
Was the sheriff's office working with an anthropologist that would have been able to make that determination?
Yes, Dr. Jordan Karsten was present, as well as Dodge County Medical Examiner P.J. Schobel, who also is trained in that.
So were they present while you were doing this, or were they were just working with you in this investigation?
I know that Dr. Carson was present during this search and sifting of that soil.
So going to, I think we're on 210, correct?
Yep.
What is this here?
That's another set of items that we found through sifting the dirt.
I think is this a close-up of 210, a close-up of 209?
Yes, it just looks like slightly more zoomed in.
Okay, going to 211.
These are some of the inorganic materials we found, various metals and other items that didn't believe to be bone or any other organic matter.
So were you able to ever find anything that you believed were the remnants of a cell phone?
I did find in one of these siftings a small circular glass, what appeared to be a cell phone camera lens.
And is that depicted in this photo?
I see some round objects, but I honestly can't tell if that was the actual lens.
But could we ever positively identify that either A, as a cell phone lens, or B, as a cell phone lens for a particular cell phone?
No.
So possible, but anything besides that lens that we could say with any certainty was a cell phone?
No, that piece was consistent with a lens from a cell phone, but I don't know that it was.
Okay, and so now we're on going to this is 211, correct? 212?
212.
And what are we looking at here?
This is sorting of some soil that was collected when the first search warrant was done on the 26th.
So on the 26th, the crime lab or sheriff's office did collect some surface of that burn pit, correct?
Yes, that was. I found that out later, but yes.
Okay. 213. What are we looking at here? Looks like your little sheet kind of tells us that, correct? That weight.
Yeah, items that we got from sifting the soil from next to the shed and the white van.
And so that's something that then would have been turned over to Dr. Carson for further potential identification, correct?
Yes, anything that was suspected to possibly be any type of bone would have been turned over to him.
And then 214, close-up of those items, is that correct? 215.
More debris or inorganic materials from that same batch of dirt.
During the interview with the defendant, did he tell us that he was burning things in this burn pit?
Yes.
What types of things did he say he was burning?
He said he had burned containers of oil. He had burned empty plastic containers that had contained the sulfuric acid. He was burning cardboard boxes, some luggage, and I believe he said he was also burning. I can't say that.
So is this debris here? Was it? I see like a small key here. Is this metal things or a mixture of metal and other items?
It's a mixture of just items that didn't burn.
Okay. Moving to 216. Oh, so that's, is it fair to say though that there are a number of debris items though from that burn that we located that weren't depicted, but those pictures kind of gave us a summary of the different things that we located during that sifting on October 29th?
Yes.
I'm sorry, not October 29th, June 29th, 2024.
June 28th.
June 20, got a calendar here. So we did, you went to the scene the second time on the 27th, correct?
That
And
was
then-
the first, yes, as a sheriff's office, yes, that's the first time I was there.
First time
Yep.
you were there, I'm sorry. You were there the first time. It was technically the second dig of the burn pit on the 27th.
Correct.
And then the sifting in the garage was the 28th.
Yes,
And then that second, so would be the third full dig, grid search type dig, would be on June 30th.
Correct.
Correct. And then there was this large sort of passage of time between June and then October. And at some point, was there a decision made to go back and do another search at the Wood Road property?
yes.
And what were some of the reasons why there was a determination made to do another search at the Wood Road property?
Sure. Once we started getting back warrant returns from Google and cell phone providers, we were able to start mapping out times and locations that Zach Rasch's cellular device was. And we know that a deputy had showed up on the 23rd of June 2024 at about 6:30 p.m. while the fire was still going and while the defendant was over near that fire. So between the timing of the 23rd, the evening of the 23rd, to the time he was taken into custody, didn't give him a lot of time if he were to move parts of a body somewhere else. We had only found small fragments and believed there was probably more, but one of our initial theories was that maybe some of it was taken somewhere else. But after we kind of homed in on that timeline, we didn't believe that he had enough time to go anywhere with these things, not a significant period of time, so we thought that maybe there were some things that we missed and there was more there.
So then October 24th, we go back. Did we find more?
We did.
Okay, so going back to, now we're on 217, correct? 216.
216 is the first picture, yes.
Should follow my own. Exhibit 216. Now we're in the fall, so it looks a little bit different, correct?
Correct.
This is still that same Wood Road address, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Is this the way that it looked when you arrived on the 24th?
Yes.
217. What are we looking at here?
This is the burned area that we saw in the previous photos over by the little garden shed, over by the abandoned white minivan.
And I just want to, if you can point out, there's sort of a piece of wood kind of buried. And yeah, if you could, thank you for pointing that out with the laser pointer. It's just behind those trees. And we saw it's going to zooming in, thank you. And I don't know, I'm going to just show you. Let's see if I can get. Exhibit 62. And this is from the search warrant from June 30th. And we see this pink line here that's our perimeter. Does that appear to be that same wood plank that's sort of buried underground that was our perimeter there.
Yes, I believe those were like pieces of a pallet or something similar.
So that sort of marked the perimeter of that June 30th dig site, correct?
Yes.
So we can zoom back out, and that was 217, correct, that we're looking at here. So moving now to 218. And what are we looking at here?
That is the same area, a general area where that burn pit was, but it's off to, more towards where you saw that board in that last picture.
It looks like we're just kind of looking at a hole in the ground, right?
Correct.
What was kind of so, we're going to see a lot of pictures of this hole in the ground. What's so important about this hole in the ground?
When we went out to do that search, Detective Cotney and I decided to go back to the origin where we had found previous bones. The other part of the property is being gridded off and searched by other people. As we were kind of clearing the leaves away just to get another look at this and kind of start a spiral search from that area, I noted the hole and something laying right next to the hole, right there, that looked like some type of rib bone.
And is there something inside the hole too?
There is.
And if you can just point that out with the laser pointer there.
Something right in the center.
And this is just right on the surface, correct? We hadn't done any digging, no manipulation at all at this point, correct?
We had not done anything except move the leaves carefully away from that area.
Okay, looking at 219. So there's a DOSO card here now, and then what's next to that card with the scale next to it?
When we discovered this, we called for Dr. Jordan Karsten to come over and take a look at that, and he advised us that was human rib bone.
Okay. Next slide to 20. What are we looking at here?
That is another piece that we had found that Dr. Jordan Karsten had advised me was part of a human clavicle.
So moving, and you don't have to remember all of the pieces, but he's telling us these are human bones, correct?
Correct.
And he is able to identify some right in the field, correct?
Yes.
Going on to 221. What are we looking at here?
That is another piece of bone that was identified in that area. That is part of the internal structure of the skull.
Okay. Again, this is all on the surface. No digging has taken place yet, correct?
That's correct.
222. This is, what are all these flags?
The flags indicate where we were seeing other pieces of bone.
So did it look like a person was out here digging or something else?
We believe that an animal had dug that up because as we dug down, eventually when we did dig down, there was decomposing flesh in that hole, and we believe that probably prompted an animal to dig down to see what's down there.
Going to 223. What are we looking at here?
That's a view of the general burn area and the flags where we discovered additional bones on the 24th of October 2024. You can see the white van and the garden shed there, and orange flags marking those pieces further to the right of the original burn pit.
And 224.
That's just a little closer up view of the arrangement of flags marking the pieces of bone.
225. And what looks like we're just looking at a picture of someone standing by a tree here.
Yeah, that I can't point out anything on there.
So we'll go to 226. Now what do we see here?
And I
226.
see someone pointing at what appears to be a piece of bone.
So let's go back to 225 just real
Okay.
quick so that we can see. So there's a tree, and then close to where that person's standing, then at 226, we can see, now if you could go to 226,
Yeah.
some bone there on the ground. Now going to 227.
That is another piece of bone, I believe a piece of mandible or jaw.
Going to 228. And
That is a human molar.
again, this is right on the surface, correct?
Yes.
229. Now what are we looking at here?
After we discovered right on the surface that we had a bunch of bone fragments, some of them being determined to be human, it was decided to grid this off and take a very careful, closer look at it.
So again, you weren't at that 6:30 search, but sort of similar gridding process, but now expanding the area to the other side. At least at this point, we're expanding to the other side, and it looks like now we've raked some of the leaves away, correct?
Yes, we removed the leaves. I don't believe we raked them.
Sorry. We're trying to be more careful. We removed debris, so we were just down to the dirt. Do you know how we moved the leaves away?
I don't recall how those were moved. I do recall when we discovered the hole and some of those on the surface, I was just using my hands and just pulling them out of the way.
And do you recall approximately how many people were on scene at this time for this search?
I'd have to guesstimate several dozen.
All sheriff's office, or did we have any support from Dr. Karsten's team during this?
The sheriff's office was there, the medical examiner's office was there, other agencies had provided officers to assist us, and also Dr. Jordan Karsten had brought some of his students with him to assist.
So now, are we still on 229? Yes, so going to 230.
That is another fragment of bone, I believe to be a piece of a mandible or jaw.
231.
Another bone fragment.
232. It's like right where that flag is. Is there something?
Yep, 232 is another bone fragment.
If you could just circle it, it's right where it zoomed in now, right on top of where that flag is, correct?
Yep.
233.
That is another piece of a bone. I believe that is part of the top of the cranium or the side of the cranium.
234. And this, you previously testified that there was some still fleshy parts. Is this represent that, or?
Yes, as we began to excavate down and pull more things out of that hole, we began to get an odor, and it got stronger, and eventually we got to a point where we found some decomposing material.
235.
That appears to be more of that decomposing matter.
236.
After we removed all the disturbed soil in that area, we could see how the hole was originally dug.
So this is sort of that outline of that original hole, correct?
Yes.
And when you say we could see, what types of things, if you could use the laser and just describe what showed us how that original hole was dug?
Well, you can see there's some cut roots in this hole. But what we did is we took real small shovels, like you see on the right of the screen, and moved the disturbed, easier to move soil, because there's a difference between soil that's been dug up and put back in a hole versus something that's been packed down over years. So you could kind of follow the edge of that hole until you didn't have any disturbed soil in there anymore, and it was all the compacted soil.
237. And what are we looking at here now?
That looks like some other areas we're excavating.
Is it? Let's go. Let's see how far before we go to the next one. Yeah, I think that's just the. Could it be that this is the sort of end of the dig on October 24th? What it looked like when we were done excavating this area?
Yeah, I can't say for sure if that's the way it looked when we were finished, but I mean, that is what we were doing there, was excavating that soil. And it looks like we have a light out there, so it is getting darker.
And then going to, then we're at 238.
Again, that looks like the area excavated, looks like the size of the 3 grids.
And then we are moving on just to one other section, Judge, that's going to take more than 4 minutes. So I don't know if we want to take our afternoon break now, or if you want me to keep moving. Okay. So now we did one other search on the property on October 30th, correct?
Correct.
And why did we do another search on October 30th?
We had gotten so much material from the search on the 24th and ran out of daylight that we wanted to go back and make sure we found everything we could.
And who was with us when we went back on the 30th?
I believe Dr. Jordan Karsten and his students, along with people from the sheriff's office, medical examiner's office, and possibly other agencies. I don't exactly remember who was all there.
And so the process for this search, same thing. Were we gridding off areas and delicately and gently searching those areas, going down as deep in the soil as we thought was necessary until we got to sort of that root structure?
Correct.
So we'll go now to 230, Exhibit 239. And what area is this?
That is an area near where the other digs were done, but further down the driveway to the east behind an old truck.
So closer to like where the end of the driveway would be on the other side. If we saw like that mobile home, between the mobile home and the end of the driveway, is that right?
Yes, this is moving down the driveway.
Okay. And this is just another gridded off area, correct?
Correct.
240. What are we looking at here?
That's the garden shed that we've seen in other pictures, or if you would turn yourself to the right, you would be looking at that original burned area.
And originally there was a tarp up against this shed, right? Is that correct?
There was a tarp in that area at some point.
Do you remember where it was on the shed? Is it still photographed here, or did we just move it out of the way? Do you recall? I guess where's our path from this photo, if you can recall?
Can you clarify what you mean by path?
The walking path between the white van where that little red wagon is.
Yes. The path in the white van would be to your left as you're looking at this photo.
Okay, so kind of right here. And so that was that tarp kind of right here in this area up against the shed, or somewhere else, or you can't recall at this point?
I recall a tarp being there, but I can't say where it was exactly.
Okay. And then moving on to 241. What are we looking at here?
That appears to be a bone fragment.
242.
That's the gridded off area next to that garden shed.
243.
That is one of the grids in that gridded off area.
And this says 9. Do you recall where this was? This still next to the shed, or are you?
1 second.
Or is it perhaps over by the truck? This.
I believe this is near the shed, if I'm not mistaken.
244. And what are we seeing here by that flag? So there's looks like 2 white flag pins. What do we observe there by each of those?
Those are bone fragments.
And just using the pointer so that each person can see. They're circling in the lower white flag, and in the upper white flag, those bone fragments. So one is sort of just on the outside of the perimeter marking, and one just on the inside of the perimeter marking, correct?
Correct.
And then moving to 240. What exhibit number are we on now?
245.
245. What are we looking at here?
Appears to be another bone fragment.
246.
I can see a flag, but I can't make out what's near that flag.
And do you know what area we're at in this? We saw a wheelbarrow there. Do you know what area we're at? Are we along the path now at this point?
It's tough to orient myself in this
Yeah,
photo, but I do remember a small depression at the path leading up to the driveway if you're going back to the driveway, but I can't say for certain.
247. What are we looking at here?
Appears to be another bone fragment.
248.
Appears to be another bone fragment.
Right there in sort of the bottom portion of the photo of 248, 249.
That appears to be a close-up of that fragment.
250.
Appears to be another bone fragment.
That little shovel, I don't think it's not called a shovel. I don't know what the proper name for that tool is, but is trowel. But is that one of the primary things that were used to dig in this case?
That was one of the tools. We had a variety of tools at our disposal, but that was one of the ones.
So when we say we're digging, we're not just like you were digging a hole for a tree. You're just moving the soil gently a little bit at a time, correct?
Correct.
251. And what are we looking at here now?
That's an area we excavated past the original burn pit into the edge of the mound system.
And then are we looking out at J now?
Yes.
Obviously the greenery, the foliage has died back at this point, correct?
Correct.
252. And what are we looking at here now?
That's the gridded off area behind that old truck that we saw earlier from a different angle.
253. And
That it's looks like the dirt is filled back in.
but would that it wasn't freshly dug like that, right, when we first arrived on scene. So does this represent the whole area that we would have excavated on October 30th?
Yes, if you include that area behind the truck as well.
254.
That appears to be just another angle of that. And then in the far right side of the picture could be the other excavated area there.
And then this is again when the dirt has been filled back in, correct?
Correct.
So sometimes we call these exit pictures, is that right?
Yes.
And I just wanted to clarify, during Lieutenant Nell's testimony, he had talked about sifting that occurred. So we had these large sifters, and people would kind of go back and forth and sift the dirt and sift through the debris. Was that happening at this scene as well?
Yes.
So it's not that we were just digging and finding things, but we were digging things, putting the dirt in buckets, taking them over to the sifters, and then researching through that dirt that had already been dug, correct?
Correct.
2:55. No, we're done at 2.
Yeah, don't have it.
We are completed at 2:54, correct? Do these pictures represent all of the bone fragments that we found on October 24th and October 30th?
I don't know if I can say it.
If I told you that the pictures did not represent all the bone fragments that we found, but just basically a summary of the major bone fragments that we found, an overview of the fragments, would you say that was accurate?
Yes, I had seen at some point a log of all the pieces we took, and it was many more than what we honed in on in these pictures.
Just one moment. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Detective.
Good afternoon.
You participated in the search of 730 Main Street, Crystal Rasch's residence.
Yes.
You viewed her calendar, as you described on direct testimony.
Yes.
Okay. Were there any dates on the calendar that you saw that Crystal or anybody else had labeled meetings with Zach Rasch?
I don't recall that off the top of my head.
Okay. Do you think if something like that you might have noted?
Again, I can't say I don't recall what all the things on the calendar were.
All right. The financial documents of Crystal Rasch, her bank cards, is that something that you took an interest in?
Yes.
Okay. Were you the one that obtained her bank records?
No.
Okay. Do you know how far back the bank records request went?
No.
You mentioned on direct testimony that you saw some medication in Crystal Rasch's room, correct?
Yes.
And the medication was, I guess, in like daily organizers for the week.
Yes.
Okay. And the what you saw was for the container was for 2 weeks, correct?
I don't recall if the container was for 2 weeks or if there were 2 containers. I don't recall.
Okay. And you noticed that some of the medication, some of the days were taken, and then some were not.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what kind of medication it was?
I do not.
Like, for example, what I mean is this something like for a physical ailment, like ibuprofen or Tylenol?
I can't say for certain. I believe they were prescriptions.
Okay. Do you know if there were medications for mental health?
I do not know that.
Do you know from what you saw, could you surmise when the last date was that the medication was taken?
That I don't know.
And from your investigation, do you know if any medication was taken by Crystal Rasch when she left her home on June 8th?
That I don't know.
Okay, so just to summarize, you don't know what type of medication she was taking, correct?
Correct.
You don't know if she took any of that medication with her on June 8th.
Correct.
And so you don't know if she ran out of any medication after June 8th.
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No redirect.